My name is Chase Holloman. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and what that means to me is that I haven't had to use alcohol or other drugs since May of 2013. Uh, I am a graduate of UNCG, which is awesome, and I was here for the start and development of the Spartan Recovery Program. I am participating in this interview because I love the Spartan Recovery Program, and I'm really grateful for what it did for me in my senior year of school here. So before I came to UNCG, well, the months directly prior to it, I was new in recovery, and um, it was good to be in recovery, but my life was kind of missing something. Uh, I'd always wanted to be a student. I tried to be a student before, and it didn't work out too well for me because I was living with a substance use disorder. So my life was good, but it felt like it was missing school. And when I came back, it was better. I was glad to be a student again, but I felt like the experience wasn't complete. I was taking classes and showing up. Um, so it was a little bit different. So before the Spartan Recovery Program, like I said, I would come to school and just go to my class, and I would try and get off campus in a hurry. Um, I really didn't want anything to do with anything else, or it's not that I didn't want to, but I was I was honestly afraid to do anything else because I felt different being a person in recovery at school, and just really kind of afraid to get involved with anything, didn't know what to do. The only experience with college I'd had before was meeting a bunch of people and partying with them, and that is not something that I can do. So I definitely felt kind of lost before the recovery program. And with even just as soon as the recovery program started and it gave me kind of a sense of purpose here at school, uh, it changed immediately. Like I was very involved with campus activities. I was excited to be on campus. I was excited to be a part of a program. I started to meet people from other programs because of the relationships that the recovery program had with the other things on campus. So I became more involved. I felt like a student for the first time in my entire life. I felt like I belonged to a campus. So it was pretty amazing the difference it made. I guess I heard about Recovery Zone because I was invited to maybe one of the first ones, and I went and sat through it, and it I feel like it's changed a whole lot since then, and it was awesome going through it and learning recovery language and all these concepts that are part of my daily life now that I didn't know before. I guess I didn't think of how important just doing that was for me. Um, it changed my mindset, my perspective, my language about recovery. And I mean, that's surprising being a person in recovery. You think I'd already have those things. But it definitely changed things, and being a part of it and seeing it grow has been awesome, and participating in it on the other side and seeing all the different people, groups of people, organizations, and like branches of the university come to do it and hear all the unique perspectives on it is, I mean, it's awesome. I wish that Recovery Zone happened everywhere for everyone. Just, I mean, it's incredible how it works. The first thing that came to mind was being offered a Xanax in class. Um, I mean, like I promptly said no, but it definitely made me feel weird and put a little bit of fear in me because I mean, I want to avoid that kind of stuff like the plague. Like I don't want to be in class and also, while trying to learn something, have to worry about, what drugs are near me. That's not something I want on my mind while I'm trying to learn. What I want them to know about students in recovery um, is that we're resilient, and although we've had challenges along the way, we've managed to get through them, and that speaks a lot about us. And that with the right resources and investment, we can do some amazing things. Because I've seen plenty of people just do extraordinary things, not even extraordinary things for someone that's in long-term recovery or someone that's had a lot of adversity in their life, but just amazing things. I think the best way people could help someone in recovery um, is just to support them in whatever way they can. Um, I mean, I guess just to listen and be understanding about what we've been through and take the time to listen. Uh, I think just being there and listening to our experience is really enough. First of all, I want them to know that those people, whatever negative beliefs they have about this person or whatever negative things they see with the destruction that's in their lives, they don't want that. Uh, and like the truth is, they're doing those things because they hurt very badly. And they probably experienced something to cause that. And they definitely don't want that for themselves. I think the first thing is to not be afraid to call it out and talk to them and address it up front. Um, one of the best things that ever happened to me that didn't end up being a blessing, well, it kind of developed as a blessing over time, was someone saw me withdrawing in one of my classes and they recognized it for what it was, and they told the dean of students. And amazingly enough, that university supported people with substance use disorders and people in recovery, and the dean of students reached out to me and became my case manager. And a whole series of things transpired, like good things transpired from that. I wouldn't have gone back to school if that had not happened, because that case manager set safeguards in place because they knew what was going on, and they would have had no idea. I just would have been another student perceived as being a screw up or someone that's failing out, had someone not recognized what was going on and told someone. And it was kind of my first contact with any kind of help at a school, and just that enough was like, wow, like these people kind of understand what I'm going through and they don't want to punish me, they want to help me. And that was just amazing to me. The safeguard was the case manager knew what was going on with me, and she talked to me and she met with me. She didn't pressure me to do anything. She's just like, she just supported me. Like she met me where I was and talked to me through it while I was going through it. And eventually I had to leave school right before exams happened to go to treatment. And I ended up failing all my courses. And with that going on, there's really no time or even thought to think and say, hey, I should apply for like a withdrawal so that this doesn't come back and hurt me later. The thought in my mind was like, holy crap, my life's falling apart. I'm going to treatment. And because of that, I was able to go back later and contact that case manager and say, hey, I can't get back into school because I failed out of those classes. Is there any way that like I could have some kind of retroactive withdrawal because I had a medical crisis? And she said, let me look into that for you. And she took the time to help me, and I got a retroactive withdrawal, and just that alone made me eligible to go back to school because my GPA wasn't there to even be eligible at that point. And because of that, I was even able just to apply to transfer to another school. One thing I don't like is sympathy rather than empathy. I guess understanding the difference in those is important to have this conversation. But when someone treats me like a baby or like tells me things I can't do or assumes I can't do things because I'm a person in recovery, I don't really like that very much. Like I'm a capable person still. Uh, Another thing not to do is like to ask me, do I ever think like I can drink or use drugs again? It's like I don't know and I don't want to know. I just don't want to have that conversation right now. Um, so that and one that's obvious to me but maybe not to everyone is to belittle me or suggest that um, before I did not have morals and now I do have morals or anything of the such. Uh, that doesn't generate a very positive or warm response from me. Um, I don't see things that way. I see as a sick person that's got well, not as someone that was bad and finally wised up to, all the bad things I was doing. like I said earlier, just to listen, people to rally around it, to be excited about recovery, to encourage others to be excited about recovery, because there's a lot at stake right now. I think with people in recovery and people that are using, and right now there's some momentum building to change things, to stop treating people with substance use disorders punitively, to give them options for help instead of incarceration or other punitive measures. And I think for things to change is we're going to need more people to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong. I know someone in recovery, and like they're doing all these wonderful things at school, and I've seen them turn their life around because they were given resources. We should do that with other people and see what happens. And I think that the conversation changes, if people start saying that, if these misconceptions people have about substance use disorders and all this negative talk just kind of goes out the door. And that starts in just one room where one person speaks up and say, hey, no, that's not true. I know this person and they've got this story. And I think the more that happens, more and more rooms start having a positive discussion, and it grows and grows. There's this quote, and I'll butcher it, but it's something like, if you came here to help me, then turn away. But if you came here because our liberation is bound in one another's, then you can stay. And I think that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like I don't need to be coddled. I just want like the same opportunity, the same goals, and to be on the same level as everyone else. I don't want like extra help. I just want resources and acknowledgement, and to be at least even feel comfortable talking about who I am. I didn't have that before a recovery program, and it's not like a recovery program is giving me an edge or like helping like me not be a baby or whatever, but it just gives me enough power to say something, to be myself. Just being able to have my identity while I'm here, is incredible. It made such a profound impact on my life. At the beginning, there wasn't much more than that, other than just giving me an identity and a voice. And that alone just transformed my college experience. It's just exciting. Like I'll immediately get a smile on my face and go talk to the person because immediately we have something hugely in common and something that I'm so passionate and is the core of my life. They understand if not just on like a little bit, they understand. So I immediately have a way to go talk to them. I'm encouraged to go talk to them. I will go talk to them and form a relationship. And that's exciting. Where else do you get that? When else am I going to have a chance to just see something someone has and then immediately know that I can talk to them about, pretty much anything? If you've got a recovery zone magnet, then like you'll get it. You'll get anything. I'll tell you anything. like I trust you. Like this person knows. That's exciting. If these people are at recovery zone, thank you for coming here. And I always say that when I'm at a recovery zone. It still just continually impresses me that people would want to come to an event to learn more about people like me, to learn more about me. And it's just amazing to me. If you had told me a couple years ago that people would be in a room to learn about recovery and like how to understand and support people that are in recovery at a college campus, I just would have laughed at you. Like that would never happen. And the fact that it is, it's just awesome. And it's because people like you care enough to come and learn. And that's awesome. So thank you.